Welcome to this special episode where we explore the biblical prophecies and trends that may unfold before our eyes in 2025. Before we dive into this fascinating topic, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. In this way, you help us share the Word of God and reach even more people. The Bible is more than a sacred book. It is a timeless guide, full of prophecies that illuminate our path in times of uncertainty. Today, we will analyze 4 impactful trends that, in the light of the Scriptures, reveal signs of the divine plan in action in the contemporary world. These are not just random news or events, but prophetic milestones that require our spiritual attention and invite us to reflect on the future. The first prophetic tendency to be observed closely is the preparation for the Third Temple in Jerusalem. This is not only a topic of archaeological or theological interest, it is a cornerstone of the prophecies of the end of time. Scriptures such as Daniel 9:27, Matthew 24:15 and 2, Thessalonians 2:4 emphasize the critical role of the temple in the last days. Daniel prophesies about an alliance and the desecration of the known temple. As the abomination that causes desolation here is what he says that he will confirm an alliance with many. For the sand of someone in the middle of the 7, he will put an end to sacrifice and the offering, and in the temple he will establish an abomination that causes desolation until the end that is decreed is poured out on him. Daniel 9:27. What this prophecy means. Daniel 9:27 speaks of a leader who will confirm an alliance with many to 17. Many believe that this leader is Donald Trump. In 2025, this prophecy will be fulfilled through anticipated peace agreements in the Middle East. Now there are ongoing efforts to establish a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, with mediators from Egypt and Qatar facilitating discussions with Donald Trump's oath in January 2025. These agreements will quickly become a reality. These negotiations and agreements aim to end hostilities and may lead to broader regional agreements involving several parties. While these developments may seem good for the Middle East, but it is also a step forward to the fulfillment of another prophecy of the end of time, the single world government, and the rise of the Antichrist Christ. If a peace treaty is signed involving Israel and several nations, it will set the stage for the broader fulfillment of Daniel's prophecy. If you are wondering why Donald Trump came the way he came up, this may be his answer. There is a divine prophecy about to be fulfilled. Through it, just as it was in the generation of Daniel, King Cyrus, and King Nebuchadnezzar, for this prophecy to happen, a physical third temple is necessary. Surprisingly, preparations for this temple are already well underway in Israel. Organizations such as the Temple Institute have created more than 100 sacred vessels, garments for priests, and even gold altar items ready for immediate use. The essential red urns for purification rituals were also identified, meeting the biblical requirements. This is not mere coincidence. It is a divine orchestration that aligns with God's prophetic timeline. The expectation of rebuilding the temple is not just a Jewish hope. It is a precursor to the return of Christ as we approach 2025. These developments are intensifying, and the question arises: could we see the construction of the third temporary temple in our lives? Trend number 2. The increase in global surveillance in 2025. Our second trend is cooling down. The increase in global surveillance and control. Revelation 13:16-17 speaks of a future in which individuals will need a mark to buy or sell a system that suggests unprecedented monitoring and control. This is what the Apostle John saw about this. He also forced all people, large and small, rich and poor, free and slaves, to receive a mark on their right hand or forehead, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast, or the number of its name. Revelation 13:16-17. If you think this couldn't happen in 25, think again. Last week, Google announced the release of the frighteningly powerful Willow chip from Google Quantum AI. Hello, I'm Julian Kelly, Hardware Director of Google Quantum AI, and today, on behalf of our amazing team, I'm proud to announce Willow. Now, this may not mean anything to you, but let me put it in context. The Willow chip performed a calculation in less than 5 minutes that would take one of the fastest supercomputers today to 10 septic years. I know it's a strange number, but if you want to write it, write 10 followed by another 24. With this kind of power, almost everything within human capacity is possible. In recent years, advances in artificial intelligence, biometric monitoring, and digital identification systems have paved the way. Path to this reality. Technologies such as AI-powered facial recognition and neurological interfaces, devices connected to the brain, are no longer science fiction. But emerging realities imagine a world where your emotions, thoughts, and even biological processes are monitored in real time. This Willow chip can make this happen and starts in 2025. Governments and corporations are pushing for full biometric surveillance, claiming that it is essential for social management. Leaders could potentially analyze your reactions, whether you agree with them or not. Based on your body's involuntary responses, the normalization of such invasive technologies has desensitized people to their dangers. If you ever wondered how the Antichrist will make everyone obey, here is your answer. In 2025, this trend will deepen as societies without money and digital currencies gain strength. These systems will make financial transactions fully traceable, giving the authorities the power to impose compliance with a centralized system. The scenario is being prepared for the fulfillment of the prophecy of the apocalypse, and, as Christians, we must remain vigilant. Trend number 3. The unprecedented growth of greed in 2025. The Bible is clear. The greed will be unbridled in the last days. In 2 Timothy 3:1-5, Paul describes people as money lovers, presumptuous and without love. Greed is a sign of decadence. Spiritual, and its presence is evident everywhere, from corporations to governments, and even the church. Look at the pharmaceutical industry, where life-saving drugs have prices out of reach. For many things have become so bad that a few weeks ago, Luigi Mangione, the suspect accused of the murder of the CEO of United Healthcare, became an instant hero. People are tired of the greed and avarice of those with political and financial power. Wars are usually fed not by principles, but for profit reasons. Imagine that for a second people start and continue wars just to make money with the blood of the innocent. How bad things can get before we know that the end of time is here. Even within churches, the gospel of prosperity distorted the message of Christ, replacing spiritual growth with promises of financial gain. The preachers exploit and deceive their congregation for a few silver coins. This relentless search for wealth and power reflects the self-centeredness prophesied in the scriptures. Revelation 18 paints a vivid picture of Babylon, a symbol of greed falling as merchants lament the loss of their profits. The parallels with our world are impressive. Unfortunately, the same fate that awaits Babylon. Sodom and Gomorrah will fall on this generation, as things are going in 2025. Expect this greed to intensify further, widening the gap between the rich and the poor. But as Christians, we are called to resist the attraction of materialism by keeping our focus on eternal treasures instead of earthly riches. Trend number 4. World religion begins in 2025. Our final trend points to the emergence of a world religion as described in Revelation 17. This great prostitute symbolizes a false global religious system that will align with the Antichrist, deceiving the nations in our time. Interreligious initiatives, such as the House of the Abrahamic Family in Abu Dhabi, that seeks to unify the Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, are gaining strength. While these efforts seem noble, they pave the way for a future global religion that will prioritize unity over truth. This trend echoes the Tower of Babel, where humanity sought to unite against God. In 2025, observe the growing movements that promote religious tolerance and unity, gently guiding the world towards this prophetic fulfillment. As believers, we must remain firm in our faith, discerning the truth of deception and clinging to the gospel of Christ. In conclusion, as we navigate through these trends, preparations for the Third Temple, the increase in vigilance, the growth of greed, and the drive for a world religion, Let's remember that these are not merely warnings or call to action. The Bible equipped us with wisdom to understand the times and the strength to endure them. Jesus himself reminds us in John 16:33. In this world, you will have problems, but have courage. I won the world in 2025. As these trends unfold, let's get closer to God, seeking His guidance and remaining firm in faith. The world may tremble, but our hope is unwavering, because it is built on the solid rock of Christ. Thank you for watching. If you watch this far, it's probably a sign that you join us to spread the Word of God. Start by subscribing to this channel and click on the notification bell. Like and share this video with as many people as possible. And may God bless you while we watch and wait for your glorious return.